slipped away. The buzz in my head, it takes me right back to a time.
Always a buddy shit.
Have you guys heard of? I think you know Dave Chappelle released his.
Who watched it?
He's all about Have you ever heard the term turf? Turf? And Chuck, did you read anything about what he said after his special?
No, I didn't read anything. I just watched it on Netflix.
So,
I don't read.
do you guys know? Have you heard this at all? TERF, turf.
Once
I mean, I
before
heard
on
it from
Facebook.
him.
Okay, so I saw this thing with Dave Chappelle where he said, "I'm a turf, trans exclusionary radical feminist." I didn't even know that. Like, we're having very specific acronyms now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of agree with him. I don't know. I agree with that whole. It's real
Did
quiet.
we lose Marco and Matt? Yeah.
No, I was frozen for a minute, so I missed everything, and I came up to he's a turf, and I'm like, I'm trying to play catch up now in my mind.
Oh. No, it was Dave Chappelle said he was a trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Wait, does this have to do with his special that everybody's losing their shit about?
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, this is something I guess he said after the special came out and everybody lost their shit again for the second time. As if
Have
he
you
wasn't-
seen the
hasn't been
special?
Dave Chappelle for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, he explained turf on the special.
Yeah, I haven't seen the
I-
special, so that's
I
why I
haven't
didn't
seen
know.
it.
Oh,
I
I
just
see.
know everybody's losing their
Yeah.
shit about it.
Yeah, no. So I watched the special today, who's fresh in my mind, and that man who blasted him from Netflix, I mean, just didn't like his trans jokes, and he goes on to explain the reason, kind of why, that he kind of is the way he is and all that stuff, and he actually describes his friendship and tells a story about his friendship, about a trans woman. I guess if you want to call trans woman, he befriended, and was an aspiring actor, not actor, but comedian, yada, yada. And then he worked with her a lot, and they were really good friends. And he started getting blasted on Twitter by trans people. And she came to his bat and basically defended him in his honor. And then, he was really thankful for that. And next thing he knows, she is getting blasted for the next 5 days over Twitter. And subsequently, she ended up taking her own life. So he's really pissed off, and he's basically.
So he had a trans
it.
person coming to his defense, and
Who
that
is a
trans
friend-
person then got bullied
Which is a personal friend of
into
his.
suicide by
like they were like
people
really good
who-
friends. Yeah.
Man, this is some fucked up. You guys,
He even goes to say, like,
telling you.
she's not part of your tribe. She's part of my tribe. She's a comedian. She's our tribe, not yours. She's ours. You guys need to stop. You guys just basically need to leave her alone, and you shouldn't have bullied her, basically.
See, I'm just telling you, we're way more inclusive than everybody else thinks. I wouldn't bully a trans person to suicide.
Especially if you're
No,
trans.
That's,
It's
that's
like,
horrible.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
That's terrible. I just didn't know what a turf was, and I didn't know that they had to be a radical feminist. You had to specify that you were trans exclusionary, because I thought anybody who included trans women in the feminist movement were inherently not feminists. That was my
but no, but
understanding.
I got a question. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. But if you're a feminist, how can you really be for like the trans stuff, right? Because that basically just brings men into the mix, and and then this was also in Dave Chappelle's special that Bruce Jenner becomes a woman. The first year he's a woman as Caitlyn Jenner, she wins Woman of the Year.
Which I felt like
what
we
the
talked
fuck?
about that. That just proves that
How's
men
that
can do
happen?
anything women can do, but better.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just by that thought. how
Marco,
can
what's
you
that
be-
email address?
It's lockerroommailbag@gmail.com. Attention, Fuck Thomas.
Speaking of locker room mailbag, welcome to the locker room. I'm Tom.
I'm Matthew.
I'm Chuck.
I'm here for the laughs.
You're very subdued tonight, my friend. You must
I'm
be
tired.
I was gonna say, I can tell when you've had a tough day at the tattoo shop. I've been looking at some of those tattoos you're cranking out, though. And
You
the
can
Hornet
master.
I like me
I'm
some of that
tired.
Hornet.
Yeah, that
you.
fucking
Oh, yeah.
watercolor Hornet was fucking legit, dude.
Yes,
thanks,
bro.
guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're very good at your skill, your craft. It's very,
I-
very impressive.
I try not to suck. It's kind of important to what I do.
Yeah, kind of.
That's a new
Kinda-
new locker room shirt. Try not to suck.
Try not to suck.
I try not to suck. It's kind of important for repeat business.
Right. I mean, well, I don't know. There's some of those people I saw in Ink Master. I don't know how they're in business at all.
Well,
And-
I've
yeah.
worked with some people that's just like, how the fuck do people keep coming back to you
Right.
with other artists around you? It's myself and 6 other motherfuckers, and there's that one guy. And it's like, how the fuck do they keep coming back to you?
I found an
damn.
Instagram page called like Sucky Tattoos or something like that.
Oh
And
my god, there's a bunch of them.
I look at this stuff and I go, how is this not a criminal case?
Well, let me.
Did you see one of our listeners post that I follow, my personal thing, posted his sucky tattoo that he just got covered up and it looks way better.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
Guys,
I'll send it to you guys. It was pretty bad.
By
And
the way,
you know who you are. You know who you are.
I'm back to my default skin. No more mullet.
I see that.
Look at that.
Gave up on the mullet.
Yeah.
Fucking
That's
quitter.
much better.
I
That's good.
had curly hair twice, once when I was working undercover and once when I moved up here, and growing my hair out. You guys know it's never been I've always kept it kind of short like this. And
That with the pompadour looks a lot better.
yeah.
I
thank
have
you.
one more thing to tell you guys about the Seki tattoo thing, just before we move on.
Oh no, go.
Just real quickly. Imagine if you will, for a moment. Picture it, if you will. That somebody was proud of that when they first did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
keep this in mind. When you look at a shitty tattoo, right? A shitty tattoo somebody posted, right? Like, and they're just like, boom, here's a tattoo. Either the tattoo, I'll just say tattooer. I'm not going to attach the word artist to it, right? But either the tattooer or the person who got tattooed was like, yeah, that's mission accomplished, and took that picture and posted. That's how we see it. Because the picture's not like look, I just got
Yeah.
fucked up. It's like, look at my new ink, or look at this.
No,
at this
they're proud of
tattoo.
that
So,
shit.
remember, y'all remember that. There's
It's bad.
more shitty tattoos out there in the world than there are good ones.
By the way, I just real quick before we move on to our topic,
Mm.
and we have some, speaking of listeners, we have an email we want to get to before we get to our topic. We're going to be talking about something today that involves, like, at what point, is a thing not a thing, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
When's
Yeah,
enough
we'll get
enough?
Right. When's enough, right?
When do you need to move
So-
on?
So speaking of the Dave
Oh
Chappelle,
god.
there I saw an article, and I know what clickbait is. I understand what clickbait is, but at some point, again, clickbait needs to be a criminal charge. Because I saw this article. It said, and it was when I was researching what the hell a turf was. It said, Game of Thrones actor tells Dave Chappelle to back off the LGBTQ jokes. And I was like, oh, was it Peter Dinklage, the short statured fellow that, former me might have called a midget at one time in his life? Is it
That's fine.
is it Daenerys? Is it Aquaman? Which famous actor from Game of Thrones? And it, like, so I click on it, and it was like somebody who played like soldier number 3 in the back row in one
Get the
episode.
fuck out of here.
Like, it was
Fine.
literally, it
Sure.
wasn't that bad, but it was literally nobody from the show, no named characters
Yeah,
or
all right.
anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, this headline says Game of Thrones actor.
I mean,
Well,
technically, they're not wrong.
technically, yeah.
Technically, but at what point do we
Stand-in.
go, are they really though? Are they really? You were in one. And Chuck, we got a message from a listener that sent us literally a screen cap of a movie called Protect and Serve from 2019, and they want us to watch it and talk shit about it because it's a cop movie. So we may have
That's
to do that.
Irwin.
Okay, so we've got that going on. But Matt, dude, we got an email, and we've got the clearance to read it. We don't know about the other
Yes.
email from.
We don't know. Yeah, we still haven't heard back from
We
you.
still
Know who
haven't heard
you
back
are.
from you know who
From-
you are,
From the last week one, you mean?
right?
Yeah.
From last week. one.
Okay, got
But
it. Yeah.
For this week,
This
I'm not
week's
gonna-
one. This is
Take it away.
We're just gonna go and I trust that we're gonna allow me to read this in its entirety before we crack wise ass jokes because it's a little heavier. It's a little serious.
I give no guarantees.
Okay, here we go. So this came through at the locker room. This,
The locker mail. We're off to a
Sounds
great
cool.
start.
it's the locker mail.
Locker mail.
It's the I'm a half a drink in and I haven't had dinner yet, so whatever.
We're Ossifer. I'm not.
Us from this thing's drinker.
I've only had 2 officers,
I'm
Mr.
just
Martini.
gearing up for another punishing run tomorrow, like I had last week after my poor decisions. But here we go. Okay, so hi Tom, Matt, Marco, and Chuck. I'm a long
Hey.
time.
We're in there. We're all in there.
I just got through the goddamn intro before
Sorry.
you fucking chimed in. You fucking kidding me right now? Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Fuck all. Okay. I'm a longtime listener of the podcast and just wanted to say thank you for always making me laugh. My husband recently passed away unexpectedly a couple of months ago, and it's been a tough time for me and my kids. My son is the one that got me hooked on your podcast. I started with war stories and loved it, but it can get tough, and then I caught my first locker room and loved it. You are all so funny. I even laugh at jokes I probably shouldn't, winky face, except Chuck's joke.
Okay, I apologize for that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
28
I'm trying to
reasons
make
why you
up for
shouldn't
it.
laugh at that joke.
Dude.
Oh wow.
It was bad. It was distasteful.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Publicly apologize.
I'm a letter carrier and going back to work was hard. I spend a majority of my day alone with nothing but my thoughts. Listening to music is out because my husband was an amazing guitar player and vocalist and was in a band most of our marriage, so every song is some sort of reminder. Talk radio is too depressing, and all my other podcasts I listen to all involve politics/conspiracy theories. Laura, it's unpopular political hypotheses.
That's right.
I can't believe that caught. I remember I just said that one out, and Thomas was like,
Yep.
"What you should say?" I'm like, "We're not. Well, we
Brilliant.
can't say it."
It's
Point it.
stuck.
Yeah, and it's all too much right now. LOL. Then I saw Drunk Star Wars on my podcast downloads and started listening. I laughed so hard.
Sorry.
Yeah.
To what? I'm like, to what?
I laughed so hard for the first time in weeks, except when Matt puked. Ha ha ha. So now every day I listen to one of the episodes, even the ones I've already listened to. You all have literally saved my life. I was starting to wonder if I would ever be able to laugh again. My husband was super funny and made me laugh every day of the 29 years we spent together. Humor got us through the tough times. He was the love of my life and my best friend, and things will never be the same. But thank you so much for letting me relax and laugh for an hour or so a day. I appreciate all 4 of you so much. My husband's dad was a cop for 40 years. He passed away 2 months after he retired. I wish something like this podcast would have been around when he was going through hard times. He worked sex crimes for way longer than he should have, and it changed him forever. Alcohol abuse, divorce, etc., all were a result of not talking about the trauma he witnessed on a daily basis. So again, thank you for not just making me laugh with locker room antics, but also tackling the tough stuff that our first responders deal with. My son is currently Air Force Reserve and is probably getting kicked out for not complying with the vaccine mandate. He has corresponded with you all, and he's had questions, and you have helped him too. So as a mom, thank you so much. On a less serious note, you need to have yeah, on a less serious note, you need to have Scott, who followed the Q movement, back on the podcast. I'm so curious what he thinks now that more time has passed. Such crazy times we're living in right now. Keep up the excellent work, and God's blessing to each of you. Laura.
Well, the same shit. That's what he believes.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, I read this like 3 times before I sent it to you guys. And I was like, fuck, how do I even respond to this? Like,
right.
The words, an email response just didn't seem appropriate. It's like there's nothing heavy enough to
What do you
convey.
say,
First
right?
of all, like, that's just like, we're a couple of jackwagons that just fuck around. Right.
Look.
And-
Mira.
Yeah.
Mira.
Oh.
Mira.
Yes, Michael.
We hear in the Locker Room Podcast. We want to tell you that we are here for you.
For you.
We're not. Hey, let's not get racist, okay? Let's not get racist.
Don't
I
oppress him.
remember. Listen, Matt. Be quiet, okay? I remember the oven comment of last week, okay? With the running and the running and the ovens and the juice, okay? Hey, cálmate, okay? Calma,
I'm
okay?
sorry.
Cálmate.
Sorry, Pop.
Cálmate a tu culo.
Okay, mira. Like I was saying, mira. We here in the Locker Room Podcast like to fuck around and talk the shit, as the kids say. And if you enjoy coming with us on this crazy game of toast,
Sorry. That's better
Then-
than coming on us. I'd rather you come with us.
right.
Come on us.
we would love to have you. We love to have you. But in
And-
all seriousness, thank you. Not for the email, but thank you for listening to us, for taking the time. You know, what little time you have and what little bits of sanity you have and the time at work that you want to keep. There's a lot of other podcasts you can listen to. We know here at the Locker Room Podcast, there are many choices.
You have many
of podcasts
choices.
you can listen to. But at the end of the day, every single person that's listening, thanks. I mean, we said this from the beginning that we do this because, well, we need our own decompression time. We've known each other for a very, very long time, except for Chuck. We all known each other for a very, very long time. And this is our way of decompressing. This is the way that we would talk shit to each other and how we talk to each other when we were together on the weekends.
Yeah, really all we did was
younger.
hit record to
Hit
our
record.
normal phone calls.
But honestly, this is a very fun and crazy kind of adventure for us that we go on every week. So for you guys to reach out to us, Matt and I talk about this all the time. It's very surreal and unreal to have you guys reach out to us and say, hey, we listen and we hear what you guys are saying and thank you for doing what you do, because we're just fucking around. So we're just fucking off. But I mean, this sounds cheesy saying this after the heartfelt email that Matt just read off, but you can reach out to us anytime. We're all very personable. We're all very easy to talk to,
And some of you do.
And some of you do, and we try to respond to every single one of you. So reach out anytime that you want or need.
When we say this is our show, we mean you guys too. Like, our show. This whole show is designed. I mean, remember back in the day, we said this is like unfiltered. This is how guys talk when guys are just by themselves. And if girls want to listen in, that's cool too. And this is real conversations in a very real way. We don't script it, or we text each other like, hey, do you want to talk about this tonight? Hey, what about this? We text each other articles.
That's about it.
We don't plan what we're gonna like.
There's no script.
I'm just as surprised at the shit that comes out of Matt's mouth as everybody else.
This is really off the cuff.
Or Chuck's joke.
One time.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to catch a charge, buddy. That's all it takes to catch a charge.
You could build one house, doesn't make you a carpenter. You suck one dick, you're a cocksucker for life. You know what
rest of your life.
This is true.
But saying like what Marco was talking about, I had my personal Instagram is wide open. Anybody can follow me, and there's people that I have no idea that listen to that follow, right? And this was like, I don't know, it was what was it, middle of September. I got some random message in my DMs on Instagram, and it was after I posted one of my freaking, if you follow me on Instagram, you pretty much see me running every morning. That's like my thing. That's just what I do. Right.
This is true. This is true.
Transients screaming.
Yeah. So, oh god, that shit. Yeah, now I got the fucking GoPro going.
Dude, that shit sounded like the fucking crazy cat lady from The Simpsons, bro. Just
and I was looking around because I was like, where is this motherfucker? Where the fuck is this guy? Because everything echoes that. But I told
my TV show pitch.
Oh, dude,
Urban Adventures.
I told Larissa, I said, now that I found my wife, I said, now that I found this GoPro, and I'm going to fire it up Monday morning, one of two things is going to happen. Either all fucking hell's going to break loose or nothing's going to happen, because now I'm recording everything. But middle of September, after I posted one of my run things, I get this random message from somebody that I didn't even know was following me. And it says, I'm a podcast listener, so I don't want you to think I'm some random. but just had a question. What keeps you going? What gives you motivation to wake up so early and be active, or maybe even who? And then we had this whole freaking dialogue. So hit us
Yeah.
up. Like we're not celebrities. We're not famous. We're
nor do we want to be.
nor do we want to be.
Like
but
here's the thing. We'll go like if we get to the point where people want us to come do live shows and fly to their town and like record somewhere and do a meet and greet, we'll be happy to do all that. If we get to that point, we'll be happy
Thomas
to
will
do
be
it.
happy to do that. Thomas will be happy.
that reminds me of the giveaway. I was going to
Sometimes
announce. I was
yes.
going to announce the big giveaway that we're going to do, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
It's not a tattoo. It's not a tattoo. I'll tell you what.
I won't forget. I won't forget.
So then here's one more message on a lighter note. It says, "Hey guys, big fan. Quick little funny story for you. I'm a FedEx delivery driver, and I've been binging the Locker Room episodes, and the intro is something I speak along to in my head. Every now and then, I'll say parts out loud sometimes. Today was one of those days where my mind was wandering, and I'm not realizing I'm talking out loud because I have my headphones in. As I'm walking through a crowded Hy-Vee after a pickup, I unknowingly yell out because I just went gay all of a sudden."
Yes. Yes, my spirit animal.
It looked like a goddamn mannequin challenge, how everyone stopped dead in their tracks. I almost pissed myself laughing as I walk out of this Hy-Vee. Thanks, guys. Now an entire grocery store thinks I'm gay. Now let's
That's
just hope
amazing.
I don't get fired.
Oh, that's
Love
awesome.
what you guys keep doing. Keep it up.
Amazing.
Oh,
God.
I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes I'll catch myself and I'll look at one of my coworkers and I'll go, "Was that my out? Did I say that out loud?" And they go, "Yes." I'm like, "Fuck, I thought that was in my head. Like, my bad." But I wanted to real quick. I wanted to jump back to Laura's thing with that email. And this is for everybody. Good on you, Laura, for finding your, something that helps you, whether it's us, whether it's reading a book, fucking going somewhere. Like, everybody needs to find that one thing that helps them kind of get out of that slump, and for even that brief moment, whether it's an hour, 20 minutes, whatever, that gets you back to you. And not that you forget everything that was going on or is going on, but you have that moment of clarity or normalcy to where everything's kind of okay in your world for that moment. And the fact that we can even be a part of that to help you do that is such a fucking honor. And I really appreciate it. I really,
it means
really
a lot to
appreciate
us.
it. Yeah.
And laughter is like an opiate, right? It doesn't take away the problem that's causing you pain. It just makes you not give a shit for a while.
Right.
And so, for you to find us to be your opiate, we'll take it. You can mainline the Locker Room podcast all the time.
Wow.
Nice.
Holy shit. Say hello to my little friend.
So I want to know what started this conversation we're about to have, because
I'll tell you exactly what started this conversation.
That's why you're the one I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Pretty straightforward, actually.
Did I fuck up the
pretty-
segue?
Pretty easy.
Well, a little bit, but hey. So I know you ended up at a Foreigner concert.
Not somehow. I requested. So
Okay.
So the company I work for has season box seats, fucking primo box seats.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I went and saw the Stray Cats.
Yeah, dead fucking center. Like, you're the sound people are right behind you. You're dead center in these box seats. You get VIP parking, VIP access to that freaking little lounge thing where there's free booze and free food beforehand, right? Full service with the server that comes up to your box, food and everything.
When you say full service,
full service.
Oh,
I was like, man,
so happy endings.
I was like, my wife is here.
Got it. Yeah.
That was the awkward part. You didn't even ask for it. She just started doing it.
She just started doing it. My wife is here. Can you take care of her? Take care of her first.
That or can you meet me at the restroom? Like 10 minutes? Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, that's easy. That's being a gentleman. That's being a gentleman.
Just meet me at the bathrooms during the bass solo, please.
Yeah. Yeah, I got another story about that. I almost got into a fight in the bathroom during the drum solo, but anyway.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
of course you did.
So this is one of the perks of the company that they
at the Foreigner.
Yeah,
Greek theater, Foreigner, of course.
The Greek
Matt.
theater.
Who fights during a fucking Foreigner concert?
Hey! My brother got into a fist fight at a Bonnie Raitt concert, and that's a whole amazing story I can tell if you want. But Matt first, Foreigner.
Yeah, so Foreigner. So I'm at Foreigner, and I had originally thought, and I was talking with Margot, I was like, I think it's like the original guitarist and the singer, I think. And
Oh yeah, he mentioned
Yeah.
mentioned to me. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see Foreigner," and I was like, "Foreigner? They're still touring?" He's like, "Yeah, they're still touring." I'm like, "Who the?" And I literally said, "Who the fuck is left in Foreigner that's fun?"
yeah. And I was like, I think it's the guitarist, the original guitarist who is
Right.
a Foreigner. That's how they.
You
He's the
get
one that
there and it's
came up
just a
with the
bunch of
name.
immigrants with musical instruments.
Right.
It's not even.
So I thought it was the
How
guitarist and the singer,
dare
and I'm like,
you.
okay, cool. Guitarist, singer, like you have the voice, you have the guy who wrote most of the music. That's the fucking band, right? That's like the chunk of the band.
And
but
what
no.
was their big hit?
Pick one.
Yep.
There's a bunch of big hits.
Look
God,
at
there
that
was-
right now.
Just
Look at
cold
that.
as ice.
Oh, there
Wow,
you go.
wow,
Is that
wow,
your
wow,
favorite
There
one?
was-
he went-
Wow.
Sorry,
he
I
for
went
it.
there.
I love it.
I went for it.
Chuck's like, "This is what I signed up for. This is what I logged in for in the locker room."
No, it's
So-
the
and-
Oxy. It
and I
got
know-
him, it got him immobile.
I
It's like
know
a deer
there's
in
part of our
headlights.
listener base like Foreigner, huh? It's like
Hot-blooded.
Hot blooded, which is the
Oh,
theme,
that was
the
theirs
opening
too. Yeah,
theme
that's right.
song for Tacoma FD. So all you kids, if you watch Tacoma FD, that opening theme song for the show is a Foreigner song.
Okay.
So
I watched that show.
yeah, I love. Yeah, I did all the props for that show. It's fucking show's great,
Amazing.
amazing. Firefighting is shit,
Oh,
but the antics.
I want to
and
know what
the-
love is. Wasn't that them? I want to know what love is. Was that them? Was that Foreigner?
No, I don't think so.
Too bad I don't have some sort of portable device right now.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking
anyway,
it up.
so
Ooh,
I get
Jukebox
I,
Hero.
right now.
Jukebox Hero. Yeah.
Hero.
They closed with Hot Blooded and
Yes,
Jukebox
I
Hero.
want to know what love is.
I want to know what
Foreigner.
love is. Yeah.
Feels
Let's
like the
talk about
first
love.
time.
Feels like the first time. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm looking into this and I'm like, oh no, it's just the guitarist Mick Jones, who is the founding member. He's the guy that came up with the name. He wrote
Mhm.
everything. And
Right.
dude's 76 years old. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of stoked to see this. Like,
God
fuck
bless
yeah,
him. God
you know.
bless him.
So they open up, Foreigner comes out
With
starts
oxygen
singing,
tanks
and I'm like,
and nurses.
where's the guitarist? There's no Mick Jones is not to be seen. I'm looking at the guitarist. I'm like, that's not him. Where is this guy? So they do the first 3 songs, and I'm like, this is a goddamn Foreigner cover band. Like, it sounds just like him. The singer they have, come to find out after the fact, I found out that he's been in the band since like 2002, 2005, something like that.
Mhm.
The band formed in 77, way back in the 1900s.
Right.
For you kids.
Right.
The 1900s.
Yeah, these fucking cocksuckers. That's what they're saying. Oh yeah, back in the 1900s. Yeah, fuck
Oh,
off.
fuck it. Oh,
Anyway, that's a
fuck.
whole other
right?
fucking topic. These little motherfuckers.
Oh, shit.
Fuck these kids. So so I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it sounds great and everything. And then after the 3rd song, the singer's like, doing a little who's who in the zoo of who's playing what, and goes, you want to bring out, the founding member, the namesake of the band, Mick Jones. And he comes out and he's got his freaking Les Paul. And this mother, 76 years old, he's not moving too fast, but he's shredding. I mean, he's just fucking playing his songs. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So the people I were with, along with the people on either side,
I'm sorry.
people I
Say
was
that one more
with,
time.
whatever,
Okay.
fucking bourbon, man.
I just want to make sure it wasn't me.
No, I heard it too afterwards. I was just trying to breeze through it. Thanks for fucking
Okay.
putting me on blast. Anyway, so I'm unintentionally buzzed.
Shenanigans.
So the people that I was with at the time, and the box on either side of us, I'll get there, guys, I swear, we're starting to,
Sounds good to me.
Oh, they got, my Oxy brother. Yeah. I think I have some left over. So so they're making fun of like, oh, they brought grandpa out here, ha ha ha, he's so
What?
old. Da, 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 da. So I stopped. I said, do you realize the guy up there shredding on guitar at 76 years old is 2 years younger than the current sitting fucking US president? And everybody shut the fuck up. I said, put that in
Yeah.
perspective.
Yep.
He's 2 years younger than our president, and you're fucking making fun of him. But he's up there
Mhm.
shredding on a fucking guitar. He can remember
Yeah, he can remember
Everything on
come
it-
out on stage and do
Yeah.
his own thing.
and play everything. Like, he's there.
Not
just
just walk away
shredding,
randomly.
Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, I'm like, yeah.
The current sitting president probably couldn't play a skin flute.
No.
That's the penis.
So
Yes, Chuck.
So,
that is
yeah,
the
so
penis. Aw.
so I was
Thank
talking
you.
with Marco, and Marco brought up a good point. And Marco was the brainchild behind tonight's topic. Was At what point, when you lose people in a band or you break off and go, do you have the right to carry on that namesake? And we started talking, and we're going to get into.
I don't mean legally.
Not legally, but
Right,
just
right.
yeah, but just like
Because you could bequeath the band name Foreigner to somebody, and they could go out on tour as Foreigner because you
Right,
left
'cause I
them the
mean-
name in the
and
will.
you know what? Look, these guys that have been in the band, they've been in the band since like 2002, 2005. We're in 2021. That's a good long run to be in a band anyway. And they sound just, I mean, they sound just like them. It was great. It was a really great experience. They
But was
nailed
it
every
Foreigner?
song. You know what? That
Oh,
guy,
he came out on stage. No,
that guy sounded just like him. Just fucking, the singer sounded just
I
fucking
mean,
like him.
you go to Vegas and you're gonna find a lot
I mean,
of acts that sound just
when
like him.
if you were to go see Sublime right now,
Oh, with Rome.
Sublime with Rome, that motherfucker sounds just like
Yeah, he
Brad.
sounds like Bradley. Yeah, he sounds
Just
like Brad,
fucking
yeah.
like
Yeah,
him.
dude.
Yeah,
You go
pretty fucking
see
close.
you go see what's the guy who sang in Bohemian Rhapsody. He did all the Freddie Mercury vocals
Yeah.
for Bohemian Rhapsody. He's not touring with Queen. That other guy,
No.
the
Adam-
American Idol kid is. But,
Adam Lambert.
Yeah,
Adam,
I think that's
something,
it.
yeah.
but
You know,
you
so
bring up a
that
good
brought up
question.
the thing, like, you know, like at what point do you get to still be that band?
It's
Okay, so I would
hard
argue
when-
in
it's
that
so
case
hard
it's
when
not
singer.
Foreigner.
What's that?
No,
In that case, I would argue that's not Foreigner.
No, it was a
It's-
fucking cover band. It was
it's a cover band.
It was a tribute band,
Right.
a very excellent tribute band. And
that
and
just happened to have the original member come out for one song.
no, he came out after the third song and he stayed the whole rest of the fucking night.
Oh,
Yeah,
Well, then
he
I would
stayed out
argue
there
the-
playing.
I would argue the
There were-
fact that he's a founding member, founded the band. It's
Yeah,
his
came up with the name.
It's his band, his name. He has the right to carry it on. So I would still look at it as this is still the band Foreigner, just not with the original members. It has one original
Right.
member who's the founding one, who just based on his age, you know, has other people
So-
to continue playing. But
So what about bands that have multiple founding members? Let's say, for example, Guns N' Roses. Right. Let's
Okay,
say, for
okay,
example,
yeah. That's a
Oh,
good
I'm not
one.
talking-
that's a good place to start
Yeah,
because
yep.
And I'm not talking about Guns N' Roses now, because obviously, as we know, Slash and Duff went back to playing with Axl, right? But for like the 20 years, like for like 20 years before, like the last 4 or 5 years, it's been basically Axl and company, right? It's been Axl and whoever the fuck he's hired to play, like, you know,
Yeah,
the
that
shit
dude with the
Buckethead.
KFC bucket on his fucking head.
Buckethead.
What
Oh
the
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
was
that's
that?
right. But yeah, Bucket had played Bucket. Well, but he
and
actually
he had Josh
it's a-
Breeze.
I think it's a
playing live with
stupid ass
him,
fucking. I think it's a stupid ass gimmick, but that fucking shreds.
Oh yeah, he
But-
he shredded.
Yeah,
That's
he's
like,
a
dude,
great fucking guitar player. But Buckethead. Anyways,
Colonel Sanders
Um,
wants his bucket back.
so like at what? So like in that instance, it's like Axl Rose and company, but he's like, nope, I own the name. Like, and legally, he owns the name Guns N' Roses. So therefore, anybody and who he puts on stage with him and calls Guns N' Roses is a member of Guns N' Roses.
Okay,
To
so-
the point where he didn't. That's the whole reason why he didn't go to. At least that's what he said. The reason why he didn't go to the induction ceremony is because his whole gripe was, well, those guys, for what you guys are celebrating, were in Guns N' Roses for like 10 years. I've been playing with these guys, and these guys have been Guns N' Roses for 15 years, and they're not being inducted. We're not going to talk
because
about
they
how
didn't
shit
fucking play on Appetite for Destruction,
for Destruction or
which
Lies.
is the
or-
only
yeah,
reason.
right.
Which is the Appetite for Destruction is the
Yeah.
only reason that Guns N' Roses made it into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
Period.
Agreed.
I mean,
Yep.
Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 are
Oh,
pretty good.
Use
too.
Your Illusion 1 and 2 would have been a
Those
good
are pretty
single album. You could have cut those two
Oh,
albums
yeah,
into
yeah,
one
yeah.
good album.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
You could have cut half of the song. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just amazing.
But
Okay,
what great,
album.
what
So
great
let's-
high
wait.
school memories with Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
this is-
can we
this
just
is
be
true.
I
honest?
That's
mean,
true.
you know, what was her
That's
name?
true.
Uh,
I don't fucking know.
so let's for the sake of argument establish some rules for this
I'm
discussion.
we've talked
Let's
about
just
this. Matt
say-
was high and kept on walking out of the room.
I
You
know,
what I'm saying?
right? Let's say that we're talking about the spirit of the band, not the letter of the band. I don't want the Axl Rose legal on paper. I can sue you if you're
right.
Let's not talk about
Right.
that then.
right.
Let's
right,
not.
right,
So
right.
let's
I'm
just
with
say,
that.
okay, yes, it was Foreigner because Mick Jones owns the name Foreigner. Let's throw that out. So let's talk
Sure.
about the spirit of the band, which is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, which is the guys that played on Appetite got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know,
Right.
so let's take that approach and
Well-
let's talk about Guns N' Roses for a second. Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose left, went out on his own, or everybody else left Axel alone, I guess would be a better way to put it.
Yeah,
And-
pretty much.
And then
By the way,
Axel,
it was the guys. By the way, just to so we don't get any fucking comic book nerds from the music scene. It wasn't just Appetite; it was Appetite and Use Your Illusions because Gilby went in
Yes.
there. You know, saying like Matt Sorum when it's
right,
Hall of
all
Fame
the
and
guys, but
So before,
but
just
let's face it.
stop. Just delete the halfway written email correction. You know what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So
How you
let's
doing,
say
Matt?
that Axel
doing,
goes
man?
out
Good-
on his
good
own,
stuff, yeah.
right?
Some
And he
water
has
to
other
balance
people
it
playing. He has other people playing with him,
Right.
and then you have Slash, and he gets all the guys from Guns N' Roses except Axel, and goes out on tour as Slash's
Velvet
Snake
Robot,
Pit
right?
and
Oh, no.
Miles Kennedy. And Miles Kennedy, I would argue, if you actually listen to Slash with all the guys from Guns N' Roses playing and Miles Kennedy singing lead vocals on Paradise City and all these other
So
Sweet
good.
Child of Mine, he's so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
He's so
Yeah.
much
So
better than
good.
So
Axel.
good. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
It's just
good.
fan-
He's
so
such a way
I would
better
argue
singer,
that spiritually, that is a more true representation of Guns N' Roses, and I would rather go see that band than go see
Right.
Axel, caterwaul his way through a concert
Oh,
by
God.
himself.
Do you remember when? Do you remember when
I
he
would see
came
him
back?
now.
When Axel came back for the first time and his fucking fat ass with the fucking
Dreads.
cornrow
I'm sorry, the cornrows.
Oh,
cornrows,
the
yeah, yeah.
cornrows.
and he like ran
no,
down
yeah.
stage singing and got to the end. It's like, did you not prep for this?
Right.
Oh my god! Did you guys hear? The video that was released a couple
Motley
months
Crue?
ago? The Motley Crue one.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Motley Crue one.
Yeah.
Speed.
He just, yeah,
Stop
he was,
my
just,
heart. And
he
then,
was
like,
rewriting
there's
shit on the fly.
and there's the last ones that got really popular is him quitting the show. Him just going, guys, I'm sorry. I'm really tired and I just can't catch my breath and blah, blah, and just ends the fucking show. And the funny thing is he's like doing this apology and in the background it's like kickstart my heart. It's like the vocal, like the vocal track still going with the harmonies and shit like that.
I would argue,
Oh,
Vince
man.
Neil, you know who really can't catch his breath? The passenger from your sports car. That guy can't catch his breath.
Oh, nice.
That'd be
saying.
Raz. His name was Raz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from Hanoi Rocks.
Raz.
Anyway,
Raz
30
from,
days.
Oh.
Motherfucker got 30 days.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, so here's one for you then. You have two Van Halens. You have Van Halen and Van
Van
Hagar.
Vanguard.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I'm sorry. I'm gonna catch flack
Okay.
for this one.
No, but here's the
Van
thing.
Hagar.
Here's the thing. Technically, they're both by definition
Halen.
Van Halen, but I would argue it's two completely different bands.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So for
Yeah.
example, going off of that, so there's the third incarnation of Van Halen, which they released. It was the Singer for Extreme. They released
Yes.
an album
Mhm.
right after Sammy.
Sorry. My bad.
Duh.
My bad.
If y'all
What,
remember,
Matt?
if y'all remember 3 episodes ago with the sneeze, we just had the same thing but with a burp. Again, folks, if you have a moment, I know that you may be welding,
God.
mail carrying, and doing other things randomly, but if you have a moment and remember later, look this up online because you're gonna. Thomas, give us a minute read somewhere around to the tune of
Yes, so that's gonna be about 40 minutes in.
guys. The look
44
on
minutes or so.
Matt's face was the dog that farted himself awake.
He
That
was.
burp. Who's that? Who's there? What happened?
We
I'm
looked at
sorry.
him and he looked around like, what happened?
Who did that? Who did that?
Like he knew it was him, but he didn't quite know it was him.
No, the motherfucker looked up like,
No,
"Do you guys
I
hear
have
that
my-
barking spider?"
I had my headphones turned up so goddamn loud, and it was loud in my own fucking like it happened in real life and in stereo.
Oh my god. Okay. Whew.
But that's okay. So
Well-
here's a couple of things. Like
Okay. So
you have bands that are one person, right? So if the Foo Fighters,
you mean like Nine Inch Nails?
Nine Inch Nails, like if the
Yeah.
Foo Fighters, as long as Dave Grohl is on stage, god damn it,
Sure.
I'm watching the Foo Fighters, right?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
As long as
Well, not
as
so
Trent
much
Reznor
anymore,
is on
'cause
stage.
Fuck him.
Well,
but
he.
whatever.
I mean,
Well,
he.
yeah. I
um,
mean,
well, he's
yeah.
had the same. The thing is, I understand he like writes everything and records most of the parts himself, but he has like, it's kind of hard to say because he has his regular like his band, like when they play live.
Yes, no, they are
just
okay.
guys,
So
they're the Foo Fighters.
I can tell you, Dave Grohl's an amazing human being because when he lost one of their original guitar player for the Foo Fighters, they took a guitar player from a local punk band to LA that I happen to know through a mutual friend. He took him on tour all summer to fill in, and at the end of the tour, Dave Grohl's like, "Hey, so we've really enjoyed having you filling in, and we just thought we'd offer you the job permanently." And the guy's like, "Yeah, that's awesome. Sure." And he goes, "Okay, well, we're going to make you a full-fledged member of the Foo Fighters, and you're completely, in the band. You get all the same rights as everybody else. Oh, also, here's a check for what you would have made had you been a full-fledged member when you started the tour. So we want to back pay you for your time because you were only getting like a regular musician
That's
rate."
rare. That's what you do not hear about that in the industry. That's I mean, whatever he's fucked off recently, that's great. You don't hear about that. The industry is very, 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 very cutthroat. So that's really good to hear.
And so I get it that he has regular musicians he's very loyal to. But for me, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, however you want to call it, if Dave Grohl is on stage, I'm watching the Foo Fighters.
Sure.
Conversely, if Dave Grohl is not on stage and I'm seeing all the other assholes in Dave Grohl's band and Dave Grohl does not come out, I did not go to see the Foo Fighters.
Right. And so I was gonna say this. There's a lot of bands out there that have lost their lead singers. And yeah, it's still the band because they still own the majority members because we're all in on it together. They still own the majority rights to the name.
Yeah, but like Alice in Chains.
Not, right. Yes. And it's still not to me, it's still not that band. I mean,
unless the band goes on to really significant success, like AC/DC loses their first singer, dies, gets another singer. That's they continue on. Fair. Also, I can't tell the difference mostly between the two of them. They're really same. Close.
Yeah.
So AC/DC, that's different. Like you change singers. Same thing with Van Halen. Van Halen, you change singers, they go on to be just as big. I would argue that although the music is, very, very different and they're two very different bands tonally, it's still Van Halen. Fine. I get all that. Def Leppard, they lose their guitar player. They hire another guitar player. They keep going on to success. They lose an arm somewhere. They keep going on to success. They've never been a complete band.
Never. Well, they were at first. The beginning
they changed bass players too. Didn't they change bass?
They've changed. Well? They've changed. Yeah, I think Def Leppard basically has 3 guys, and if those 3 guys are in the band, it's Def Leppard.
Okay, what was the band? I know I should know this because it was an '80s band that changed the singers, and they got this little Filipino dude that sounds just fucking.
So that's where I was going to get to.
Okay.
So that's
I'm having a hard time with Journey. Yes.
Okay.
Journey. Yeah.
So
that blew my fucking mind.
So Steve Perry was the original singer of Journey, and everybody knows, everybody's heard the voice that sings "Just a Small Town Girl Living in a Lonely World."
Yeah,
fucking amazing, right? One of the most pure male tenor voices.
Oh my god, when the lights go down the city, when the lights go down the city.
Oh god,
what a delivery.
Steve Perry
pipes.
So Steve Perry leaves, and Journey continues on. Not really, any success. And then, as if to prove my point, Steve Perry joins the band again. They cut a new album. The first single off that album becomes a #1 hit single after like 10 years of being in limbo. And then they want to go on tour. And Steve Perry's like, dude, I got to get a hip replacement. I'm getting old. we got to take it slow. And so the band said, fuck you, Steve, we're not waiting. And they went on tour without him. And they hired another singer. And then subsequently found this little Filipino kid on YouTube that sounds almost identical.
I mean, it's
Steve Perry.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking close. Yeah.
You can still catch like his Filipino accent in certain words. It's like just a sotong girl.
But closest as they
for
could
real,
possibly
close
get.
enough, right?
Yeah.
But for me, if I'm not seeing Steve Perry, I will enjoy it, and it will be as close to Journey as I can possibly get.
Right.
But it still won't quite be the same for me.
So what you're saying is, in that situation, your journey would not be complete.
Oh.
I think it's because you develop a connection with the singer. You've heard that singer for such a long time, then all of a sudden it gets switched up on you, and then you're like, yeah, it sounds good, but it's not the same band.
But see, I feel differently about Queen tour.
Oh,
go ahead.
I got one for you. What about Judas Priest?
Yeah, I was gonna
because
say
they broke ties, right? They broke ties.
Yeah.
And Judas Priest got a new singer, which is
From
he's
a cover
great
band
singer.
of Judas Priest.
Right? Yes.
They
yes,
made a
yes,
fucking
from-
movie
yeah.
about that shit
They did.
with Mark Wahlberg.
Fucking
like
Marky
that.
Mark.
Fucking Marky Mark, man. Hey guys, I can sing
So-
just like you.
So, but okay. So, which one do you call like the real deal? Because you can now see, obviously Halford's on and still on tour and doing his thing. Now he's doing
Halford's
solo
back with
stuff.
Judas Priest.
But before he got back with Judas Priest, he you could go see either. You can either see like the rhythm section, if you will, with a different singer, or you can see the singer with a different rhythm section. So it's like, in that case, would you?
Which would you prefer?
Yeah,
and I think that's where you
would
have the
call?
more emotional connection to the band. I would rather go see Rob Halford sing
Right.
Judas Priest songs with a different band than go see the guys from Judas Priest play behind somebody that isn't Rob Halford. It's
Right.
kind of the
Because
kind of the Foo Fighters
it's
rule.
it's just the voice though. For me, it's like the
I agree.
singer, like there's
It's iconic.
I'm gonna look
yeah,
up a
that-
band real
that
quick.
is the band. You're gonna what?
But
Like,
on the flip side, what did we say about Guns N' Roses? I'd rather go see all the members of Guns N' Roses with Miles Kennedy.
That's just
And
because we saw
fuck
it. Because
Axl.
that's just because we know that Axel's an asshole. So
is he not?
Well, okay, here's one. No, Chuck's
No.
looking something up. Here's
Oh.
one for you.
Something up.
When did Metallica stop being Metallica?
a Black Album.
Black Album. No, I would say.
No,
I would, say
I would
say
argue
Saint
as soon as
Anger.
they cut their hair.
Saint Anger.
Which was shortly after the fucking Black Album,
Yes,
wasn't it?
after the Black Album. It was
Okay, yeah.
Load.
That was the Black Album was
yeah.
their was
Yeah,
the
it was
slippery
Load and
slope
Reload-
that
Load
they
and Reload.
started to.
Yeah, I would say the
Fucking go
Black Album
down.
is I mean, you can't argue with that being one of the most perfect metal albums of all time. It's so catchy and so
I mean,
tight.
other-
and so
I mean, there's
I
been a
mean,
bunch of other metal bands before that time that said basically you guys had the balls to cut an album that the rest of us, did not. We're stuck on cutting everything raw and making everything really aggressive sounding, garage sounding. They're the first ones to say, let's just try this whole different approach. And
Right.
and knowing now,
And
They probably had a
Right.
meeting and we're like, what do you guys think? And Hetfield was like, yeah. And then they just fucking went and did it.
Matt.
oh my god.
By the way, Thomas, I know you remember this, but that the live shit binge and purge.
Oh
the
yes.
recording of the recording of that album when all of a sudden you hear Hetfield like Shromo and they do all these different types
Yes,
of
so
vocals. And they
if
just all
nobody-
just stick to the yeah.
If you guys have never seen it, there's a 2 VHS. Well, you could probably get it on DVD if you special order
Yeah,
it at
probably.
this point. But Metallica took cameras into the studio when they recorded the Black Album, and they did a documentary that covered the 9 months of recording the Black Album and then the first 9 months of the tour. And it's pretty spectacular to watch, like how the Black Album was cut and everything that went into it and all that kind of cool stuff. There's some really cool snippets of it, but Marco's referring to a moment where their new producer, he's the guy who produced like
Motley
Crue, Dr. Feelgood, and all this
Dr. Feelgood,
cool shit, right? And James Hetfield, like you joked around, is always going, yeah, right? And so
like Rob Zombie.
he says, hey, so let's try something other than the normal, yeah, let's try something like woman or Shayao. So there's footage of James Hetfield trying something else, Shayao, and they just key the mic. They're like, yeah, let's just go back to your regular, yeah.
That was the
It was,
documentary thing where he was like totally trashing Axl Rose, right? When
Oh
went on
yeah, so
tour
they
together.
went on tour together,
Yeah,
and he grabbed
yeah,
that
Axl
was-
Rose's
yeah.
like demands, and he was reading off all the fucking shit that Axl Rose demanded in his dressing room.
Yeah,
Cheese, especially the cheese board.
The cheese
yeah.
board.
It had to be
'cause it's
cut
like-
in cubes.
yeah.
To get
This
down his scrawny
dimension,
little
yeah.
throat.
But you know why they do that? They do that at what's it called? It's called a
The rider.
The writer,
a rider. They do a rider and they throw some ridiculous shit on there.
Like
So
no
they
brown
could-
M&Ms.
Yeah, so they can say, "Look, we're not going to do that." Okay, fine. If you don't do that, but you have to do this, and so they deliberately put some bullshit on there.
If
can
you
get
see Axl
turned
Rose's
down.
list, though,
Yeah,
if you see
there was a
Axl
lot of-
Rose's list,
it was
there's a
bullshit.
lot of bullshit
a lot
on
of
there.
bullshit.
Like,
I mean, there's some
And-
ridiculous writers out there, like
Right.
specifically a specific number of bottles and a specific name brand of bottled water.
with
and-
temperature. and-
yeah, so with temperatures
temperature,
and everything, blah blah blah.
with
and
all the
yeah,
labels
it's-
facing east or
Yeah,
whatever.
dude.
Yeah,
smokinggun.com. The
Oh,
smokinggun.com literally has a database of all of the riders that have been made public information. So if you want to go see the demands of Mariah Carey or Celine Dion or the Foo Fighters, if you want to see what these acts, these bands, these singers, if you want to see what they absolutely demand to be in their dressing room, if you want to be sickened
what they feel entitled to, what they feel entitled to. That was not me. Guys, that was not me. That belch was not me.
That's Chuck, dude. He's nodding out and
fuck no, it wasn't me.
Escaping.
No, dude, I didn't burp.
Who burped?
Liars.
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Oh.
Somebody heard a burp though, right?
Yeah, I did. Burp. I didn't hear no burp.
Matt. I didn't fucking burp. That's why I said it wasn't me.
Okay, well, let's move on.
It was not me. It actually was not me.
It was one of those under the
I'd give it up. I'd give it up. It was not me.
It was like one of those.
I heard it.
Chuck was
definitely not
snoring. Chuck was
I'm
snoring.
not fucking dude. I'm not
nodding out.
I'm not nodding out.
He's air quotes researching, watching porn.
So no, maybe you guys can help me out with this. I've been looking up. There was a band, Killswitch Engaged.
Yeah.
Killswitch Engaged.
Love them. Absolutely love them.
They had their original singer, who was really good, but then I guess they lost their original singer, and then they got a new one that sounds really, really, really good. But it's not the same.
But the new one changed back.
Did he?
Yeah. So they changed back. So they got a new singer because they were not getting along, and the original singer didn't want to do this anymore. So they got a new singer, which is not an old singer, and he was with them for like 3 or 4 albums, and they got like the highest level of success that the band has had. And then he announced that he was stepping down from the band. So and it's just saying basically artistically, like, hey guys, I loved the time I spent with everybody here, blah blah blah. It's not leaving on bad terms. It's I as a vocalist, I want to explore a different sound and do something different. And like I love my time. I love the fans. I love the type. I love these guys. But as a band, the 4 of us play this, and I want to do something a little bit different and challenge myself differently. And they got the original singer back to come back, and he's been touring with them.
In my opinion, I liked that original singer so much. And then when I heard the new stuff, I was like, I mean, it's good, but I didn't really like it all that much.
I would just say this: "End of Heartache," like that song, the actual song, "End of Heartache." That's just the vocal range and the delivery and power that the new, I forget his name, but the new singer has versus the other. I mean, you're always going to get different delivery. You're always going to get different vocals and different delivery when you change a band member, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But I'm with you. I think the the earlier stuff was a little bit more quote unquote metal, a little bit more raw sounding. Right. But I gotta give that fucking End of Heartache album, especially that song, and that his non-screaming, the actual singing vocals. Right. There's the power behind his vocals is actually like pipes, if you will, singing. It's just like I think he had a little bit more vocal dexterity in that aspect of it. But the original guy, his like growling and actually like screaming vocals, I thought were a lot more cut through.
So for me, it was like nostalgia almost. That's
I understand.
That's what got me. And then there's another band out there called Bad Wolves, and the lead singer used to be Tommy Vexed.
Yeah,
and Tommy
he's
Vexed,
a badass,
dude. Yeah,
I fucking respect the shit out of that guy.
Oh yeah, big time.
Is he still canceled? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's actually.
Are they going on without him?
Yeah, they have a new singer and everything. And I was just about to say, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I prefer Tommy Vex. And the thing is that
he's got his own thing going on now.
But he's also holds the name Bad Wolves. So there's this big litigation thing back and forth between the original band named Bad Wolves and Tommy Vex trying to come out with a new Bad Wolves, change different spelling. But he's like, I own the name. It was my name. I created the name. And that was the whole argument that's been going on. And I'm like, I can kind of see it from both perspectives and sides. I was like, Bad Wolves will probably never be the same because they don't have Tommy. Right. And all of his new shit that he comes out with is just really, really, really good. He just got to get his footing down and actually be able to pump out an album, because as of now, he doesn't have anything.
Yeah. I think he's going to get paid big time because they tried taking credit because he wrote a bunch of the songs. Yeah. So they're out there trying to play his shit, and he's like, "No, that's my shit. You don't get to do that."
Well, they can technically play it. Thomas will
play it live.
You can play it live all you want. You can't
play it live all you want.
You can't try. It's like you can play any cover. Like we could put a band back together. You could say we'll put a
I
band
know,
back
right?
together. Get up on
Oh my
stage and
God,
we can do
15-year-old us in a band.
Oh my god, we can do as many fucking covers, as many covers as we want, as long as we're not recording and charging for those covers, for those songs, and it don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. You can play. That's why any band, any place can do any live cover that they want.
Well, no, I think there was something it was on an album. They were releasing a song on an album that he wrote, saying that they wrote it.
It depends. I guess it depends on what part who wrote what. So
Yeah.
I don't.
But if he wrote the
know.
lyrics, you don't get to use those lyrics.
He needs royalties.
So there's this has happened, and I don't know if Chuck and Matt, you guys should know this because it's maybe a little deep cut, but Thomas and I don't know this. That there's a song by Metallica called "Master of Puppets."
Yes.
The music was actually the music was actually written by Dave Mustaine. So there's
There's several songs that have been written by Dave Mustaine
he was in the
before
band
he left
for
the
a hot
band.
minute.
Right. So he actually wrote a completely different set of lyrics, called it something differently, and recorded the song with the exact same riff, because that was his music. You know what I'm saying? Like his music. So I guess it's gonna come down to, when it comes to writing credits of the individual songs, who actually did what. If he wrote all the lyrics, cool. You're not allowed to touch them. They're not your lyrics. You're not allowed to record them.
You can use the music. You just have to have new
and
lyrics.
it depends what and if he wrote any of the music, he could have written a lead, or he could have written like a rhythm section for it. You know what I'm saying? But the drums, bass, and leads were written by the other band members. You know, so it's a little tricky to prove.
You should look into it though, because it's interesting with the whole dynamic with them, because they're saying that, you know, they announced, Bad Wolves announced, yeah, we split ways, you know, different, and then Tommy Vex kept quiet for a while, and then he came out and he goes, no, they fucking pushed me out, because he was coming out as the, you know, fuck COVID shit, and was speaking his mind, and they were like, no, you got to play along, you know, come along to get along.
I think it was
There's lots of musicians that are like, nope, sorry.
There was a lot of political stuff, I think, they were there too, you know, with like presidential stuff and all that stuff. Built into that. But in this scenario, and in this, that band will never be the same as it once was, because the lead singer left.
And as soon as they announced it on their Instagram, there were so many like actual, you know, fans going like, fuck you guys, you're never gonna be the same. Like I'm done with you.
You know, I honestly believe that they should. Well, it doesn't matter what my opinion is, but I'll say in the podcast, I think that they should have just done the STP thing before Weiland died. So before Weiland died, like STP kicked out Scott Weiland because of they didn't want to work with him. Excuse me, they didn't want to work with him because of his obviously his troubles, his drug addiction. So they went ahead, but they wanted to continue doing music together because those three guys like playing music together. So they got the singer Filter and put out a band called Talk Show. And released an album on their Talk Show, and then
same thing. Scott Weiland got together with Slash, and they did Velvet Revolver,
and they did Velvet,
and then there was the guys from Rage got together with Chris Cornell,
and did
Audio Slave. So super groups, super groups.
So I think Bad Wolves should have done that. I think they should have just gotten another lead singer. They already had the label behind them, and just
got new shit.
Got
and that's the other thing. At some point, you say it's got to be a new thing. We're making it a new thing.
I mean, I understand. I mean, we're the three of us are musicians, so we kind of understand. Like, especially when you're right there, the Bad Wolves, when all that happened, all that stuff started happening. Bad Wolves was in the cusp. Okay, the four of us. The Bad Wolves was in the cusp of breaking actually, big. They had just done their cover of Zombie, which was everywhere. And they had two singles before that, which were out on XM. You could hear them, which sounded really good. But man, you just got to let that shit go and just rename the band, reform, and re-release.
In those instances, I completely agree, because it's just never going to be the fucking same.
Nah.
And you're going to be competing with fans, and you don't want to compete with fans. You want to keep the same fan base. So just call it something else and be like, hey, we split, and they'll respect you more than that. And they'll respect you less if you can continue to try to carry on a name when you don't have the lead singer. And there's this big nasty fallout.
Well, especially if you do it right away. If you just address the problem or address the issue, what happened right away, and release like a single right away, and be like, hey, you know, like this is what we're going to be doing now. Then
You're listening to Headbangers Ball.
Oh God, that gave me memories, man.
Well, as we slide into home plate for the night, because we know Marco is tired. Does everybody have their jokes ready? Has everybody got what they want?
Yeah, I got two.
Oh, Matt's got his little skeleton buddy.
Oh, hello.
So I gotta tell you a funny story. So my wife bought a bunch of these little fucking guys.
Uh-huh.
And one room, the den in our house, has has about 6 of these on the fucking table in different yoga poses.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
my
hilarious.
God.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you guys a picture afterwards. It's pretty fucking.
Oh, boy.
It's pretty
Dude,
epic. She's very.
I've
Oh,
got
you
a-
know what I can't fucking find? I can't find a fucking old school jack-o'-lantern pail. Like what we grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
as far as,
yeah,
like, the
that's-
bucket, you know, the jack-o'-lantern
Mhm.
bucket.
Well, I got one.
Oh, I got
Well,
I
you-
got some at work.
Yeah, you may have one, but you can't go out and buy. Like, you know, they used to be $1. Like last year, you could find it last year. You can't find them. this year.
Yeah,
They're all-
you can't
they're
find
gone
them
in
this
buckets.
year.
No, they all gone in buckets.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
So if listeners, if y'all have like y'all find like dollar jack-o'-lantern, you know what I'm saying, like old school, like, you know, holler at me, let me know.
Yeah, right.
I'll fucking Venmo you, including the shipping to get them over to me.
Just throw it in the mail.
Dude,
you know,
I
I want like 6 of them because I want to do like a fucking like a, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas kind of jack-o'-lantern kind of tree
Right.
happening kind of guy
That'd be
thing.
cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, man. So
So
y'all out there?
I
Anyway.
went skeleton crazy this year. Or we went skeleton crazy this year, and we got a like a 4-foot tall dragon skeleton for the front yard.
Oh yeah, I seen those. Yeah,
It was
Nice.
sick.
yeah.
And then
that's dope.
a 5'4" life size skeleton with glowing eyes, and that you can mold into different positions.
I've seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
want
sit
to
in
see
my
those
front.
pictures.
He can
Oh,
position
geez.
that. He can position that boner any way he wants to. You know.
Yeah.
His mouth is like this.
Yeah. On the outside, on the outside,
Oh,
on the outside of the
no.
package, it says Bangkok Betty. I got you.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
we had a listener ask if Marco knew any of the Pepito jokes, right? That was the
yeah,
That was-
yeah.
yeah.
But
right,
that's
which
like
is-
that's like an American freaking
right. So I wanted to
ground bean
explain
thing, right?
that. Yeah, that was that was what I wanted to explain. Marco, you said that this was not a thing in Venezuela.
No, that's not what I said. I said Pepito.
Oh.
It's like when you're like, do you know any Pepito jokes? And I was like, well, like, or you said, what is a Pepito? I'm like, I know Pepitos to be hot dogs. But
Right.
mind you, I left Venezuela when I was 9 years old, and that was the better part of what fucking 37 years ago.
Right. So it's not. I mean, I still remember Dirty Johnny jokes,
Sure,
Yeah.
but apparently the Pepito jokes are the Hispanic equivalent of the Dirty Johnny jokes. Which
So just tell a dirty Johnny joke and just put a little freaking
oh,
ole on it.
oh.
Marco just remembered a Dirty Pepito joke. I think.
Well, no, I need to translate. So
Pinche
do you-
Pepito.
so my dad, growing up, had a bunch of comedy albums. Remember, like back in the day when there was actually comedy
When
LPs
you would
Yeah,
listen to stand-up
Right.
comedy on an album.
right? But like it was kind of great because some of the ones that my dad had, it was like a music group. So they would like do like a song, and the song would break into like a joke, and then they would roll back into another
Oh my
gaita,
gosh.
another gaita. And I remember listening, like my dad having those on, especially like when people were over on Christmas times and so on, you know, and New Year's. And yeah, now I remember Pepito jokes. I don't remember a Pepito joke. I have to look one up and then translate it, and then it's not gonna make any sense because, you know,
Right.
y'all white.
I know.
That's not how it goes.
I know. I could tell a Dirty Johnny joke. How about that?
Gotta hit me.
It's little Dirty Johnny is in class, and the teacher says, "Hey kids, I want you to. We're going to do our alphabet letters today. So I'm going to say a letter, and I need everybody to think of a word that starts with that letter. And if I call on you, you have to say the word that starts with that letter." And so she says, "Okay, A." And Dirty Johnny raises her hand. She goes, "Nope." She goes on to a little girl, and the girl's like, "Apple." She's like, "Very good." The teacher says, "B." And Dirty Johnny raises her hand. She goes, "Nope." She's like, "Who else?" Okay. So she picks on Billy, and Billy's like, "Baseball." And she's like, "Yes." And so she starts going through the alphabet, and finally she gets to R. And Dirty Johnny raises his hand, and the teacher's going through in her brain. She's like, R, R, R. Okay, I think we're okay. She goes, "Johnny." Johnny says, "Rats." And the teacher goes, yes, Johnny. Rats starts with the letter R. And Johnny says, rats with cocks a foot long.
All right, fair.
I got a question real quick.
What?
Is the word butt cheeks one word, or do I spread them apart?
Nice.
What did one butt cheek say to the other?
What?
Man.
Together we can stop this shit.
You know, the other day I was watching women's beach volleyball. Fucking 1 minute in, there's a wrist injury. But I'm feeling a lot better now.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
So my everybody knows my grandfather fought in World War II, and I talk about it, but I had another relative, it was his brother, that also fought in World War II. And they said he downed 35 German planes. 35 German pilots died because of him. And I said, what did his commanding officer tell him? And his commanding officer says, you are the worst mechanic in the Luftwaffe.
I'm gonna tie the Germany joke into an Austrian guy.
Okay.
Did you hear that fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger is gonna be doing a movie about classical music?
Oh
no.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Oh no. Okay.
You guys,
how about this? Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
you guys know why women close their eyes during sex?
Why?
Because they can't stand to see a man have a good time.
Oh, damn, that's harsh. Hey, do you know why teenage girls only hang out in groups of 3, 5, or 7?
Oh, Chuck. I know,
No,
teenage,
I
not
don't.
8-year-olds.
Dude, fuck out of here.
Do you know why teenage girls
Why?
can only hang out in groups of 3, 5, or 7?
Why?
Because they can't even.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
God.
What do you call when a
Fucking
pig
dad
does
jokes.
karate?
What?
What do you call when a pig does karate?
What?
What?
A pork chop.
I like that one. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so I go, guy takes I love German jokes because the accent's so wonderful. Actually, can I tell? Okay, I'm going to tell you one that you guys probably know, but the audience doesn't, and it's
Is this
so
the-
close.
Is this the one I'm thinking
What?
of?
The Russian who goes to the
No, no.
divorce attorney. Which one
No,
were you thinking
Go
of?
ahead. The guy in the bar.
Oh, I could tell that one too.
You should tell that one at the end. You should close with that one.
Okay,
I think you
close
may have
with
told it on here before, but it's
The
so
Scottish
fucking
guy
brilliant.
in the Scottish guy in the bar, or the
That run-
Hitler in the Hitler in the bar.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the Hitler
Yeah,
in the
this-
bar.
Okay,
It's
I'll tell
just
that.
brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. You got to end with that one.
Okay. So this Russian guy goes to a divorce attorney and he says, I would like to get a divorce. And the attorney says, okay, well, do you have cause? And the Russian guy says, yes, I have Mercedes, I have BMW, I have Porsche, but this is not why I'm here. He goes, no, I'm sorry. I'm afraid you don't understand me. To get a divorce, you have to have grounds. And he goes, well, of course, I have grounds in Malibu. I have grounds in New York. I have grounds in Moscow. He goes, no, you're not understanding me. To get divorced, you have to have a reason. For example, is your wife a nagger? And the guy says, no, but she is sleeping with one. And this is why I want the divorce.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You know, I got hit in the head the other day with a can of Diet Coke. Don't worry, I'm not hurt. It was a soft drink.
Oh
my God.
my goodness.
Dude, my coworker actually, my work coworker has been getting hit by a bike every day for the last 2 weeks. He's stuck in a vicious cycle. Dude's mad. Look at Matt's goofy ass face right now.
No, that's 100% Frozen. I might think that he's not, but he is. All right. So should I start his favorite joke while he's not even here?
I would say so because he's the one who's leading the meeting. So we might.
There
he's back. There he is. Hey. No vocal. You're muted.
Okay.
You're still muted. You're still muted. Can't hear you. You're still muted.
Excuse me.
Do you
got to
understand?
turn the microphone on.
It's literally your little symbol says that you're muted. It's got the little microphone with the little muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
What fucking happened?
What happened? I don't know. You're frozen. You had this face.
No, and you guys were all frozen, so I was doing this like Hands Across America, trying to bring everybody back, and it wasn't happening.
And
then it said recording stopped, and then it said disconnected, and everything fucking went black. It all went black, and I was like, "What fucking happened?" And then it popped back on, and then Thomas is doing fucking sign language to me.
Excuse me, you got to turn your microphone back on. All right, so
stupid. Chuck, I missed the fucking punchline. It fucking froze. I was fucking dying over here. I'm like, what the fuck punchline? I got hit in the head with Diet Coke.
I got hit in the head with the Diet Coke. Don't worry, I'm not hurt. It was a soft drink.
Okay. Because all I heard was, "Don't worry, I'm not hurt," and I'm like, that's fucking doesn't make any fucking sense. And then I realized you guys were frozen, and then there was nothing, and I felt incomplete.
He would not have been able to sleep tonight.
Okay, so I was like, fuck.
So here we go. This one is an oldie but a goodie, and it literally is one of the funniest jokes I know.
It is the most perfect, funniest joke ever. And I tell it, but not with your joke telling ability.
So guy goes down to Paraguay on vacation, and he goes to a bar, and he sees a guy sitting down at the end of the bar that looks just like Adolf Hitler, only much, much, much older. And the guy looks at the bartender and says, "Hey, bartender, is that Adolf Hitler?" And the bartender's like, I don't get involved. I'm not saying anything. Guy has a couple of beers, gets some liquid courage in him, walks down to the end of the bar and says, "Excuse me, sir, are you Adolf Hitler?" And this little old man with the funny mustache looks up from a map of Europe with a red pen and goes, "Why, yes, I am Adolf Hitler." He's like, "Holy shit, really? What are you doing down here in a bar in Paraguay?" And Hitler's like, "I'm hiding out while I plan the Fourth Reich." He goes, "Well, what's the Fourth Reich all about?" He goes, "This time I'm going to do it right. I'm going to kill 12 million Jews and 4 clowns." And the guy says, "Why are you going to kill 4 clowns?" And Hitler looks at the bartender and he says, "You see, I told you, no one gives a shit about the Jews."
Oh my god.
It's just so good. It's so good.
Oh shit.
Once again, that is lockerroommailbag@gmail.com.
My wife's
Attention, fuck all y'all.
So am I.
It's so good.
Yep. It's
so,
but
to
Matt,
go back
did you know the PS of that joke, the postscript to that joke, the way I heard it? My friend Yordi tells me that joke, right? And Marco, you may not remember the name, but you'd remember him. He was from back in the New Art days. It was this punk rock dude that hung out with Jeff named Yordi, and Yordi told this joke, and we all just died laughing. And our friend Margot, she died laughing too. Hilarious. Margot's Jewish, like a couple of other of us, but she's like actually religiously Jewish.
Hello, Margot. Named Margot.
I remember Margot.
No, different Margot.
Oh,
yeah. So Margot goes back and tells her dad the joke. Comes back the next week and goes, "Hey, Yordi, remember that Hitler and the 4 clowns joke?" And Yordi goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I went home and told my dad that joke. He didn't think it was very funny." And Yordi goes, "Why, is he a clown?" Without missing a beat, dude. Without missing a beat.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right.
Anyway, on that note,
the moral of the story, kids, is
don't be a clown.
They're jokes. They're not dicks. Don't take them so hard.
Don't take them so hard. That's right.
No, that's fantastic.
And there's really, I mean, there's very few things in life you can't joke about. If you can't joke about it, then you probably need to check yourself, because the second you start laughing about it, in not a trivial way, not like fuck you. No, more like the world is a fucked up place, and if we don't laugh about it, we're all gonna go a little crazy. Let's all just laugh at each other a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
why do Scottish people wear kilts? Because sheep can hear zippers a mile away. That's all I'm saying.
There we go. That'll do. That'll do. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh wow.
Hey, look at that Scottish man fucking that sheep over there. No, that's okay. It's our father.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Doesn't that cause birth defect? Nah.
What's the difference
Oh,
between
God.
a Rolling Stone and a Scottish Shepherd?
What?
A Rolling Stone says, "Hey, you, get off of my cloud," and a Scottish Shepherd says, "Hey, McCloud, get off of my you."
Holy
on that
shit.
note,
Oh,
we'll see you in the locker room.
We're going to hell.
Jesus, fuck off.
And you're
Christ.
coming with us for listening to this.
Hey,
First
I'm
round's on
Scottish,
me.
and I approve that message.
First round in hell's on.
Bonus
Hold on.
track.
I just
Go.
want.
Hold on.
No.
I just
So-
want to say. Well, hold on. First
Hold
of
on.
all, you asked, has anybody ever submarined themselves? And we're like, what is that? Oh, I coined the phrase. There's tip
Right.
number one.
But
Then
no way in
so
hell
this
we would
is
know what the
something
fuck
that
that is.
happens.
Well,
How does
originally-
this something that happens if you just coin this fucking phrase?
Because
And it's your
penis.
And then you say there's a penis involved.
And it's his penis.
So-
And it is penis.
Originally, before everything started, I said,
we
hey,
turned the microphones back on because, folks, we're
What the
givers.
fuck?
We're sharing.
Yeah, this
has
is
something
ridiculous.
like this ridiculous. Has something like this
Ridiculous.
happened? Yes, has something like this happened to you? I call it submarining.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's-
Okay.
okay, so
That's
that's
a
how I
much better.
originally
That's a
said it.
much
Right.
better lead-in. by
Thank
the
you.
way.
You remembered
Great.
it. My bad.
Go ahead. Go ahead. So explain what
So-
submarine is.
I'm all fucked up right now, right? Like, so I can't
No
really get up
shit.
off the couch,
Okay.
Right.
and I have to keep the brace on. So I take the brace off to do my exercises, yada yada. So I got these urinal things that you would get and use in the hospital.
Yeah,
right?
the ducks. With the little. It's the
Right,
thing with
yeah.
the handle and the been there, done
Right.
that.
So
Okay.
Right.
I have to do it sitting down, right? While I'm
Yep.
doing my exercises. 'cause
That's
it's 2
why it's
hours
angled.
long.
That's why it's
Right.
angled.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. So I just flop it in
Yep.
and then kind of put it in there and then go. Well, I wasn't paying
Like a
attention. I was
gentleman.
watching. I was what? Right? I was
Oh,
Like a
I
gentleman.
feel. I don't know. I think I know where you're going with this, and the answer is yes, I have. But go ahead.
Wait, no,
Okay.
because I want to know.
I don't
I,
know.
know,
I
I
was
think
sitting there-
I have done this.
I flopped it in so I don't have
Uh-huh.
to hold or nothing. I don't have to pay attention. And I'm just going, I'm paying attention, watching TV, and I'm laughing because I'm watching Impractical Jokers. And next thing I know, I'm like, I'm wet. Like it's warm. It's fucking warm. And I look down and I'm like, oh shit, that's a lot. And so it was coming up now. It wasn't all the way full, it was like 3/4 of the way full. And I was like, fuck. And so I have to, shake myself off. And then I look and I'm like, did I really just pee in my own pee? And I look back and it's dripping off. And I'm like, fuck me, man. I pissed under the piss, like under the water.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
It
let
was
me
just-
ask you this.
It was like,
Have-
blub, 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 blub.
Yep. Yeah, I've done that because you're like you're fucked up.
You're not
and it
paying
gets
attention.
full, and you're in the piss.
You're in it.
but you're peeing still. And it's
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Now let
so
me ask
fucking
you this.
gross.
Let me tag up with this.
Hold on,
I
gotta
had to
visual.
do this. I had to get some real high grit sandpaper and hit the edge on that
What?
motherfucker. Yeah,
Not your penis, the bottle,
no.
right?
The bottle,
Okay.
yeah. Because when they pour the plastic, there's
Oh
a
my
where
God.
the,
Oh,
where the
yeah, it
little
gets-
clap thing. It's a little sharp. I fucking nicked myself, dude. I
Ooh.
fucking
Oh.
yeah, from flopping
Oh.
it in there, and I went sideways. It was like a paper cut, but it was a plastic cut on my fucking penis.
Oh my God.
Mm-mm.
So I'm not the only one. I was like, man, am I the only one who's done this? And I was kind of like, okay, it's in
Submarine, I
there.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
that's
It's in there, or snorkeling, or whatever. Whatever you wanna
Snorkeling.
call
There
it.
we go. We could do that.
Mhm,
Snorkeling.
because like it goes in there a good little bit down that little neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't think I'm
Marco,
gonna fill
I
it
hate
up.
you for making me record this, but
You
it's
never-
in the show.
You never think you're gonna fill it up.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
it fills up,
going.
and then it's like
I
and
wish it
you
would
never
stop.
want to.
but
You
it's
never
just
want to
kinda
pinch
keeps
it.
going.
You never
Right?
want
I'm
to
just gonna
pinch it. and
fade it out
Stop it.
starting right
You
now.
don't.
And- but it's like,
Sounds
oh
good.
my
That's a
god.
good idea.
It's gonna be faded.
But you know what?
out right now.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
we'll
it
catch
felt-
you guys
it
later.
felt
These
kind of nice,
motherfuckers are
right?
talking about
Felt kinda
that.
nice.
It got really warm. I was like,
felt
what's
good, yeah.
that?
Just went way too far. Just went way too far.
Yeah,
We'll see you
this
guys
has
next
gone way
time.
too long.
It's super
Yeah,
warm.
yeah.
We'll
We're
see you guys
running.
next time.